Richard, welcome to those little interview that we do around SMC 2023 in San Diego. So just quick introduction. So Richard Mueller, the president of NETSCo, and you have been a long time SNAME member and definitely SNAME enthusiast is the word that a lot of people say around you. So that's definitely something to mention. Wanted to ask you a few questions about SNAME and about your career to advise the people that are listening. So, first question, what was the value of SNAME in your career to you? What was the value?
Well, for me, the value was all about getting to know people.
Okay.
I came into the maritime industry from the automotive business, and so I didn't know anybody, even though my father was very heavily invested in the marine business, and he's the one who got me into the business, but I didn't know anybody.
Right.
And when I first was hired in the marine business, my boss at the time, I was only on board for maybe 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And my boss said, hey, we're going to a SNAME meeting and I need some help with the meeting registration. So I want you to sit at this table, and when they come up and give you their name, you look through and give them their name badge.
Right.
And so, immediately from the very first day, I got to know people.
Right.
And then next thing I knew, I was the one organizing all of that, and it just kind of snowballed from there.
Right.
And so for me, it was just all about making the connections and helping to meet people and finding out, who were the movers and shakers and what were they doing and what kind of projects were they working on and how could I be of help. So that was what made SNAME valuable for me, especially in the early days.
Excellent. Yeah, no, definitely. And I'm sure this is kind of a ball rolling. So once you start making some contacts, then you create more and more and more. So I'm sure this is something, a snowball effect that you're getting through your career. Right?
Absolutely. And just over time, then it switched from me getting something from SNAME to me giving something back to SNAME, because SNAME had helped me because I knew people. Then when I started my own business, I knew the folks in the business, and then over time, as they helped me establish my business, then I felt like, okay, I got to give back. I gotta do something to help SNAME. And I started at the section level doing that, and then eventually moved up to the kind of the corporate level and international, and have just done all kinds of different jobs.
Very good, very good. And as a business owner and senior leadership role within your company, which have now about 25 people, right?
Yes.
So how does SNAME help you grow your business, or just making sure operation flows? What's kind of the value of SNAME that you're seeing today as the president of NETSCo?
Yeah. For me, it's about making sure that my people have the same benefit and the same access that I had to get to where I'm at. And so for them to be attending meetings and learning about what's the latest in technology, what's the, interfacing with their peers and their colleagues, to keep abreast of what's happening in the industry, and then perhaps sharing some of that with the industry by doing a technical presentation or whatever that would help demonstrate our capabilities and show to our clients, hey, we're thought leaders in the industry, and so this is one of the reasons why I insist that all my employees are SNAME members, and not just members, but you gotta participate.
Right.
You gotta attend meetings from time to time and participate in the leadership at the section level to help give back to the section.
Excellent. Yeah.
And we sponsor every section meeting is
Right.
sponsored. We're one of the companies that sponsors, and I try to, like at the SMC, I have two of my colleagues here with me, and
Right.
so to try to expose them at a broader level than just the section.
Yeah.
So.
No, that's great. And to see that over time, even like making those investments, like you're seeing the return out of it. So it's something that you keep going, and it's not something you need to check like on year to year, on budget to budget. It's more like, okay, let's invest in ourselves and invest in the future. We're talking about labor shortage, and that's all. This is all things that how to bring people together and making sure knowledge gets transferred, and we can pick up the phone, and when we get some question about a specific project and there's an area where we know we have one of our contacts that definitely have like better knowledge for that specific problem, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's as most of us find out, not just in our business world, but even in our personal interactions, it's all about who you know. It's all about knowing people, and then being able to pick up the phone or send an email or whatever, and you're going to get a response. So,
awesome. Excellent. And I'm going to shift a little bit more from like the connection side of it to talk a little bit about technology, as SNAME is investing a lot in technology. So for you, what technology was the most disruptive in a positive way through your career?
Well, I've been in the maritime business for 45 years, and when I first started, my drafters, my engineers, were using India ink and lead pencils and T-squares and triangles and drafting machines on their drawing boards. So for us, the most disruptive, the biggest change we faced, I'd say, was the move from what we jokingly call in our shop, we call it ManCAD.
ManCAD.
We're drawing by hand, switching from ManCAD to AutoCAD to some, 3D, really computer-aided design process that was just so different and required our engineers to think differently, and then it became really clear that the training and educational process of the newer engineers wasn't the same as it was with older engineers who they took drafting classes, they learned how to draw. They learned how to set up a drawing, and here's the views you need, and here's how you do that. When the switch to computer-aided design happened, there seemed to be this natural thinking that, well, because it's so easy to fix and move around and do things, you didn't have to worry about, well, what does a drawing look like? And so we ended up having to teach our guys and develop standards and say, no, this is the way. When we put a drawing out there that has our company name on the title block, it's got to look a certain way. We want people to look at a drawing and they can clearly see, hey, that's a NETSCo drawing. I'll share an example. I had a shipyard call me several years ago, and they said, hey, I wonder if you know, there's somebody using your drawing. And I said, well, how do you know it's my
It's-
drawing?
yeah.
And they said, well, it doesn't have your title block, but I'm telling you, I've seen enough of your drawings.
Yeah, yeah.
I know it's one of your drawings. They copied and put their own title block on it.
Ooh.
And that's okay. So that to me said, yeah, it works.
That's right.
You know, the standards were working. And so for us, anyway, that's the most disruptive, because it was just a huge change in the way we did business.
Yeah.
Because before, now your engineer was actually doing the drawing.
Right.
But today, that's really not how it works, because I can't afford to have my engineer doing the drawing in AutoCAD. It's
Time consuming.
yeah, it's very time consuming, and he's got to keep up with all the latest iterations. So it's better if I train drafter designers
That's right.
to do that, and let the engineer just engineer.
Yeah.
And then he sketches, or he does something, gives it to the drafter designer.
Right.
So it was just a wholesale change to the way we did business.
So all your process of doing business not only changed on the people side, on the process side, and the technology was evolving, kept evolving. Right?
Yes, and is still evolving, because we went from ManCAD to AutoCAD, and now many of our clients want 3D rendered models,
Right, exactly.
and that's a whole new thing. And then yet when you get right down to it, the shipyard, the guy in the shipyard who's gonna take his plasma arc and start cutting steel,
Right.
he needs 2D.
Yeah.
So we go to 3D to do the model, and then we go back to 2D, because that's what the shipyard wants to get the job done. So so it's just the whole process has just been quite fascinating. Yeah.
Yeah, and keeps evolving, and
Yes.
at one point, that's if we'll see where AI, 3D, and automation of production will bring to the
Yes.
table, but it's definitely definitely exciting.
Yeah, we have AI for text. Maybe someday there'll be AI
That's right.
for drawing.
Exactly. There you go. All right. Well, thank you, Richard,
Okay.
for that quick interview, and thank you for what you're bringing to SNAME, and for being here at SMC.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
There you
Appreciate
go.
the time.